guys, Daddy DWALLY here. You thought you got rid of me, but I survived. I'm still here, boys. Still here. Just barely. Ready to play some games. See you online. The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days.
Hosted by a group of best friends. If you'd like to find out more, visit nerdchatmedia.com.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. Daddy DWALLY here. Recently discharged and still alive. Welcome to The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. We are recording a little late on April 27th, 2024 at 9:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But as you all know out there, we don't miss a week.
He's absolutely right.
Joining me as always, we were actually waiting for him to come back for some reason. I don't know why. Jose was out at the Great Wolf Lodge in a Colorado blizzard.
Snowy day.
Just excellent weather as always out here, guys. If you couldn't tell, Colorado has the best weather ever because it sucks. Chipotle Bear, where can people find you? Just another wicked crap.
I'm happy to be here, bud. It feels really good. We had a little bit of a situation on our normal recording night. Huge shout out to Nissa Tower, who is in the chat now. Also is in the chat pre-recording on Thursday. Shout out Nissa. We always love you as a fan.
Hold on. We got to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Is it Nissa or is it Nisa? Because I heard Luke say Nisa the other day. I need to know, Nissa. How do we say your name? Okay.
Correct
us. We need to say it right. Shout out.
That's correct. We do need to say it correctly. I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be here. It is Saturday night as we record here in Denver. Our Nuggets, Nissa like Melissa. We were correct.
Okay.
Fantastic. They lost game 4 to the Lakers, but that's fine. We can win it here at home, which is great.
It's hard to beat a team 15 times in a row.
Sweeping is hard to beat that hairline on LeBron. But I'm doing great, man. Happy to talk about some games. It's actually been a crazy week at work, but I've gotten a lot of playtime here and there because of the beauty of technology. So I'm excited to talk about that. Happy to be here, man.
Okay. Shout out to Nissa. I'm one of 5 kids. I get called my siblings' names. Yep. Nissa, I can relate to that. As a father of 3 kids, there are times where I'm like, Grayson, Madison, Brooklyn. I say everybody's name but the kid I want to call out. So it happens. So I apologize for that happening to you. And don't worry, Nissa, we're going to get into why we're a little late this week. But joining us as always is, I guess, the Broncos. We have our quarterback. Bacon Gaming. How are you?
It's pronounced Jason, in case you were wondering. That's how you correctly say my name. Jason.
By the way, to our listeners, I still have trouble remembering Bacon's name because I've strictly been calling him Bacon ever since I met him.
That's fair.
I really have to think, it's Jason. If someone says Jason, I'm like, who are they talking?
I have a very forgettable face, so I don't blame you. But as my title says, boys, the Denver Broncos had a fantastic week. It's time to hitch our wagons to Bo Nix.
Fantastic.
It was a good draft. A good draft, but had a bunch of drama at work this week, and it's been a week I'd rather forget. So glad my boy Dan's still with us.
Speaking of drama,
I don't know if we have any HIPAA violations here, but my man Dan had us all worried. So let's get to this, Dan.
Speaking of drama, yes, the reason why we are recording late on Thursday, your old boy Daddy DWALLY had an episode. On my way to, I'll try to keep it quick. I'm on my way to the gym. I just had my pre-workout, had a breakfast, normal routine. As I'm driving to the gym, I'm noticing my eyes are twitching. I'm like, this is weird. This is not normal. I'm like, am I caffeine overdosing again? I got to get moving. Hop on the bike, ride for 15 minutes. I'm feeling good. A steady pace. I feel okay. I stop riding, start to feel nauseous. Start to feel off. I'm feeling tingling in my fingers, tingling in my feet. It's hard for me to grip my hands. It's hard for me to speak at one point when I was speaking to Allie. I go to the bathroom, have diarrhea. My body's like, get rid of the pre-workout. Get rid of the pre-workout. I lurch over a trash can, vomit. 3 horrendous vomits. Go start stretching to keep moving. Stop for a second, vomit again 3 times. At this point, some people are staring at me like, what's going on with this guy? A sweet Asian man comes up to me. He's like, are you having a medical emergency? And I was like, I don't know.
Yes, I am.
Goes and gets the club manager. Club manager's like, dude, are you like, getting the jitters from your pre-workout? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know, dude. He's like, let's move you to the front door where the windows were open, doors are open, cool off. Call Allie. Allie, you got to take me to the hospital stat. And she's like, I'm on my way. Brick gets the girls. I'm waiting there. As I'm walking to the truck from the front door, get in the truck, just like Chunk. And
like the Exorcist, bud.
3 horrible pukes again. Okay, so I vomited multiple times. Gets me to the hospital. That's 2 minutes away, St. Anthony's. Get out. She has to wheelchair me to the back. I get up into my seat. There's nothing left. I'm just dry heaving. The worst feeling ever. I don't mind throwing up if there's something to come out. At that point, the doctor's like, what's going on? Tell my new routine, repeat everything that I said. And they're like, we're going to check out your vitals and your blood work. Get the EKG on me. I've got a long QT line. That means my heart's not restarting when it needs to rebeat. They say that my phosphorus is deadly low. That's what it was. My electrolytes are way off. Phosphorus, deadly low. Normal is 4 and above. Deadly low is 1.5 and lower. I was at 0.4. 0.4 was my phosphorus level. They're like, we need to have you hooked up to this IV. We need to get you hooked up. They call insurance. Insurance is like, we got to keep him on this. He needs to stay overnight. Because of my insurance, they're like, we need to transport you to a Kaiser hospital. Get in it. I was first ambulance ride. Checked that off my list. Took an ambulance from St. Anthony's. Yep, thanks, Bacon. All the way to St. Joseph's down in Denver.
Oh wow!
I get there.
It's a good hospital.
It was very nice. A very nice hospital.
That's where my daughters were born.
Numerous times, Allie's like, this hospital's so nice. I'm like, I know. But so I get to the hospital. They're like, okay, everything's improving. Positive, you guys. Got to watch the Nuggets game. Because I don't have cable, didn't have TNT, got to watch it at the hospital. Watch the whole thing, watch the Nuggets come back, and everything improved, got discharged the next day. Here I am, alive and well. So moral of the story is don't check your vitals. If you're going to take pre-workout, you got to monitor it. And to be fair, they said they don't know if that's the main cause. It could be. They don't know.
Absolutely no.
But basically... Probably over time, I've been taking a lot of it
all over the world for that stuff,
and it's been decreasing my phosphorus and my electrolyte levels. No joke, you guys took a nap today, woke up, went downstairs, checked on my protein and stash, gone from the pantry. Allie,
good job, Allie.
I have no idea where it is.
Good job, Allie.
That is the right answer.
She is not listening to this, so.
2 important questions. Did the doctor ask how many gummy bears you have eaten in your life? Because I feel like
they did ask about my diet, and I said, not good the past month. I'm trying to lose weight.
You didn't direct them to episode 155 of the Nerd Chat for the food section?
Thank you, Todd. Thank you. Shout out to Todd. Thank you, Todd. I'm glad I'm okay. What kind of pre-workout it is? This is the one you take, Deja Vu, the Gorilla Mind.
The best part was
Mind pre-workout. Okay, we are... Jose is going crazy with the layout here.
The best part was his cryptic messages to us. Hey boys, can't record.
What do you want me to say?
Why don't you boys
I'm having a medical emergency.
That was fine. It was the next day. We texted you like at noon. I was like, hey, just if you need anything. I didn't know if like one of the kids got hurt, like your house was on fire, and we just care about you. We love you.
And I appreciate that, and I understand. And that's exactly why I didn't want to text you and not be able to respond to you, because it was a pretty. I was just incredibly tired too. That was the other thing. I was just tired. Sleeping in the hospital sucks. I've got bruises here. Maybe you can get this on camera. My IV, yeah, you can see it on there. My IV bruises, right? I've got it right here. I've got one right here. I've got my blood drawn in 3 places over here. Had the blood pressure bag every hour. So, moral of the story: be careful with your supplements. Get your routine checkups, and don't go to the hospital like me and have to have a hospital ride. And it was awful. And I hope I'm never in that situation again.
So, second question.
Yeah, Todd did jinx me.
On his show, did he say something to you on his show?
Yeah, well, because he's like, once you hit 40, you know, Dad.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
To be fair, again, could have been prevented. It's not like I had a very serious. Allie's been freaking out about my heart. It's like every doctor who came in, his dad had a heart attack at 53. His grandfather died at 66 of a heart attack. Is his heart okay? Is his heart okay?
Dude,
my heart was fine.
She loves you.
Bottom line, I know.
Thing.
Bottom line, my heart was fine the entire time. It was just my electrolyte levels that messed up everything.
Okay, very last important question, then we can move on. This was the most prime opportunity.
You're absolutely right, Nissa.
When a doctor asked you what's going on, did you go?
I think I got the black lung pop.
I think I'm getting the black lung pop. It's not very well ventilated down there.
You got to get the rest of it. Jesus Christ, Derek, you've been down there for one day. We need to get the rest of it. No, I did not do it. But
another day.
There was a smoking hot nurse, boys. I know Allie wouldn't appreciate it, but I did tell her because she likes to hear about the stories. She was not my nurse. I had Nelson, who was very nice. But it wasn't, it was literally like a dream nurse scenario, which was cracking me up. But
yeah, St. Joe's saved my can one time, dude.
Yeah. So as you can see, I'm doing a lot better. I am going to take precautions. In a week, I have to get my blood work done to make sure everything's back to normal. But yes, Todd, thank you. I appreciate your concern, Nissa, as well. Thank you so much. And then Deja Vu, you tried to carry us hard for our butt whooping. Thank you. It's true. Deja, what's funny is I had my pre-workout earlier for my workout that day. Then I had a monster that night for the basketball game. Then I had pre-workout the next day. So maybe you're right. Maybe along those lines, something.
You sure, Clark?
I know. So shout out to
2 Little Caesars pizzas and some Peeps.
Okay. So to Deja Vu's point, though, Bacon, I don't know if he told you this. We had 35 points the other night in the entire game. Ooh. I had like 25 of our 35 points. It was
Jamal Murray of the team.
Heinous. One of the worst losses ever. We couldn't hit a bucket besides me, and even I was missing some. So shout out to Ashes. Hello, please take care of yourself, DWALLY. We're not going anywhere. That's right, Ashes. We aren't going anywhere. You know why? Because we just got our quarterback of the future. Am I right, Bacon?
We did. Day one starter, boys. He's 25 years old.
Yeah, exactly. He's the same. Isn't Zach Wilson younger or something same like age. That? These energy drinks are for the kids. True. Okay. Well,
thank you, Todd.
And a lot of the nurses and doctors were like, "You're doing great." Like, look at the specimen. They're like, "Look at you." You're
oh my god!
I swear to God, they're like, you're healthier than 90% of the people here.
They use the word Adonis,
and they're like, you should take something, but they're like, even caffeine can do this to your body. It's like, well, then what am I supposed to do? But anyway,
that hot nurse talk about it anymore. Looking at him, he's like,
no, she was not. She was like, ugh.
She was like, look at that old man.
Yes, I'm still a kid, said Ashes. Exactly. I'm still going to continue to take a monster as long as here's the thing that they thought might have been a contributing factor. Niacin. Niacin is an ingredient in these things. Watch out for that. That can be the thing that lowers your phosphorus.
Also helps you pass P tests.
Okay, moving on.
Science
That's enough about
now.
me. Shout out to Ashes. Shout out to everybody. I really do appreciate it in the chat. I am okay. I'm doing better. Still a little tired, but thank you guys.
Yeah, all jokes aside, we are happy you're glad, but you're
exactly. And I do want to shout out everybody for checking in on me. Shout out to everybody in our own nerd chat with PS Trophy Room, XCP. Everybody checked in on me. Shout out to Lord Cognito. Lord Cognito personally asked if I was okay. Shout out to Mrs. Moriarty. Colin's mother wrote to me, Bacon. She follows me on Twitter. She checked in on me as well. So shout out to Last Stand Media. Everybody, I really do appreciate it. I'm here to stay, Ashes. I'm not going anywhere. Too many video games to play. I have to play Indiana Jones.
That's why you stay.
I have to play the next
Gotta make it to November.
I have to play the next Mass Effect. All right. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And shout out to my T-Wolves are on fire. Todd Oxford. Screw your T-Wolves. That's probably the only team.
T-Wolves Nuggets is going to be a great Nuggets, matchup.
Yep, that's going to be the one to look out for.
That's a 7-game series there.
But seriously, thank you to everybody. Jose, let's jump into our quick nerd chat shout out to one of our #1 fans. Huge nerd chat shout out to everybody in the chat, but huge nerd chat shout out to BigBox 1431. 8 days ago, he wrote, Bacon and Chipotle Bear, you must kick DWALLY off the show. His comments on last episode have likely tarnished the nerd chat's reputation beyond repair. Contact a lawyer immediately. Saying Domino's is better than Jett's is straight immoral. For listeners who don't have a Jett's near them, it's akin to saying a cat poo is better than falling in love with your soulmate. Jets
Mine.
is a goddamn religious experience. I want both of you to blink in Morse code if DWALLY has leverage over the two of you, because neither of you reacted naturally during the sacrilege of this portion of the show. BigBox also said, DWALLY, every one of your listeners is now dumber for having listened to your ramblings. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Shout out to BigBox for that. What was that? Happy Gil? No, Billy
Yes,
Madison.
Billy
Madison.
Right there. And you know what? I don't remember any of you guys strongly disappointed with me. And I wrote that on the comments.
Damn.
Neither of you said, Jose, you were like, oh, that's a little crazy. But neither of you were like, oh, Jets is the greatest gift to us in pizza form. Both of you agree.
I agree that Jets is overpriced.
Disgustingly over. It's not that. It's not that good.
Like not even a little overpriced. You're right. It is disgustingly overpriced compared to Domino's.
I'm not even comparing Jets to anything. I'm just agreeing that Domino's is hot garbage.
Dude, you're wrong.
Followed by Little Caesars.
Guys, the Domino's is better and better the more you have it. I'm telling you, they have great pan.
You've burned your taste buds, bro.
You know who also says that? Meth heads. I just want to throw that out.
That's fair.
These pizza elitists, you guys, they act like they don't eat all this. They eat
eat it,
and they love it.
I haven't had a Domino's or a Little Caesars in 10 years.
So you're telling me right now, you can have any pizza. You're picking Jets over Domino's, and you're paying $80 for 3 pizzas. You're telling me I
would choose a Costco freezer pizza over Domino's, bro. I actually get my pizza from real pizza joints.
Okay, that's a little
frozen.
I'm gonna be real honest.
Come on.
I go to Big Bill's. I go to Perry's. I go to Colorado. Anything's better than that garbage.
I'm not saying. I agree. I think Garlic Knot is better than Jets. I think Perry's is better than Jets. Jets is good, but it's not the best big box. And I stand by what I said. I'm taking Domino's over Jets 100% of the time. And it's not just about the cost savings. It's about the delicious pies and tastes and combinations.
I agree.
I get. It's Domino's. Guys, we're not all on the East Coast. Okay. We don't have these local chains. And I agree. Chain pizza isn't good compared to local. I agree. But if you had to pick a fast food one, I'm taking Domino's. It's settled. I'm taking it over Jets.
I'm from Michigan and has never had Jets, and that's where it's from. That's funny.
Wow.
Oh, don't worry. You're not missing out on much. And you're going to pay $80 for 3 pizzas. So shout out to Ashes. He said Louis was my go-to when I was at Louis. What the hell is that?
So like Bar Louis?
Most likely way better than Domino's.
Anyway.
There's one on every street corner.
We can continue the pizza debate all night long, and I will. And I might even have pizza. Actually, I do have pizza news later this episode, so stay tuned for that. Guys, let's jump into some Xbox news for the week, Jose.
News team, assemble!
Can I just say real quick, too, Big Box, tell me what you get at Jets. I would just like to know. The next time someone is paying for it for me, I'm going to get what you get. And then
you're going to feel guilty because they're going to spend $30 on a pizza for you.
If they're buying it, that's on them, but.
News story number 1, and is the title of our episode. Xbox revenue is down, but up, Jose?
Question mark.
How's their revenue?
Yeah, see, we need something for like the question mark. So we need to think about that, Jose. Microsoft financials are, and this is coming from gamesindustry.biz, a tweet. Gaming revenue is up 51% year on year. Xbox content and services, 62% is up. Hardware revenue down, Bacon, 31%. The steepest decline since the Xbox Series X and S launch. Diablo is one of the biggest first-party Game Pass launches. 10 million hours played in 10 days. It's a good game. And I caught this also this tweet from Daniel Ahmad. Shout out to Daniel Ahmad. I believe Luke was bringing him up last week or when we all got together. And he quote tweeted the gamesindustry.biz tweet. The elephant in the room here is that if you exclude Activision Blizzard from this quarter, Xbox gaming revenue is down 5% year over year, with no software and services growth and sharp hardware revenue decline. In other words, you can see why Microsoft sees what is M&A, something in acquisition,
mergers and
merger
acquisitions.
that's what it was, as essential for growth. One of the larger talking points, he continues on, recently has been hardware decline, which is a legitimate point to make, but I think it misunderstands Xbox's current strategy. The entire mergers and acquisitions push over the last few years has been driven by a need for consistent releases on Game Pass, and expansion to PC, cloud, and other consoles has been driven by a need to expand beyond the console base that's already lagged behind its competitors. This doesn't mean Xbox should or would stop releasing new hardware, but it does mean that Xbox's challenge going forward is going to be able to successfully offset any decline in the hardware and Xbox hardware with increased spending on software and services. The ABK acquisition goes towards achieving that, and it's why gaming revenue is still up more than 50% year over year despite the hardware decline. We'll have a better idea of how Xbox is doing next year after the impact of ABK is fully baked in. Bacon, disclaimer, Bacon is a Microsoft shareholder. So
check that in a couple of days.
Bacon, what are your thoughts on these recent numbers? Because you did tweet this or text us about this. What is your initial reaction?
That's a really cool story. Problem is you can't remove ABK's income from all this. So it's a stupid tweet. Can you? They own it. They bought it. They spent a lot of money on it. So all this, remove ABK, you can't. Ashes is right in the chat. Best part of it, because I sat through the investor meeting, because I sit through every Microsoft investor meeting.
He's dedicated. He is.
They touted the 7 games that are on the PS network right now that are currently dominating every PlayStation first party release.
Wait. So in the meeting, they brought up
Satya said that we have 7 games that are on the PlayStation Network top 25. So
full third party. Speaking of Bacon, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about those numbers right now, tying into this. Well, you brought it up, Bacon. It's a great time since Jose has it up there. Here's the big there's a big shakeup in the top 25 bestsellers as Stellar Blade breaks into the list, edging out EA's Fight Club 24, and this is coming from Derek Strickland over at Tweaktown. Fallout 4 is also on the list, and if you look at the chart that Jose has up on here, the Xbox published games, we've got Call of Duty at number 2, Fallout 4 at number 9 in PlayStation's charts, Sea of Thieves number 11, Fallout 76 at number 15, Minecraft at 19, Grounded at 20, Overwatch 2 at 21. And just for comparison, if you look at PlayStation, and I feel like here's where you can argue, Bacon, and Rise of the Ronin is considered a PlayStation. That's not a first-party title. That is a third-party second-party exclusive. Destiny 2, we can't exclude that, right? Because they just got Bungie. Does that really count? If it wasn't
for the Bungie
Helldivers 2
wouldn't be
another second-party exclusive, potentially multi-platform. Maybe rumors coming to Xbox. I doubt that. The only real first-party PlayStation game on this list is number 7, MLB The Show 24, and then number 4, Stellar Blade, another second-party a second-party exclusive. So of PlayStations, they only have one that isn't PlayStation first-party game.
I'll break their heart even more. MLB The Show is played more on Xbox than it is on PlayStation.
Really? You have those numbers somewhere?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. So sorry to interrupt.
Makes it big.
Sorry to interrupt. So I do want to, before I throw it back to Bacon, Todd Oxtra says the concern is 2025 and they lap the ABK bump. Okay, yes, but we have some time to see what. This is where it's going to get interesting, is this year with the games we've got coming to Game Pass, and we've got Call of Duty potentially being in Game Pass, or I think it should be. And Ashes is right there with you, Bacon. He says, but why would you exclude them? They own them now diverted resources to getting them. Flawed logic.
Thank you.
Matt Valdez, brave move to put Stellar Blade and edging in the same. Shout out to Matt Valdez. Stellar Blade. Matt, I was going to say something else, but I'll keep it. And Todd said PlayStation is always heavier in third party. True, but was it like this? I guess they were, even in the PS4 era. They just knocked it out of the park with their first parties. But sorry, Bacon, a lot to take out or discuss there. Go ahead.
Like what Todd just said about the ABK bump in 2025, it doesn't matter about a bump. their revenue is still going to be absurd. It is always going to be absurd. Xbox is playing chess and Sony is playing checkers, dude. It is going to be a freaking bloodbath. The amount of money that Xbox is going to make, I say send the whole slate, everything.
Send them Halo. Send
Send everything over there. And those Sony, I'm a Sony shareholder, and I'm sitting back waiting, wondering why my stock sucks and is lower than my Sony stock has ever been. What are they going to do to fix it? Because us shareholders are not happy with our evaluations we're having right now.
Real-time update, Bacon. What price did you buy Sony's?
I bought Sony at 86.
Oh my, you guys, it's down to 82.33 right now.
Bacon
is losing money
in the toilet, and I'm so angry. I bought in when I bought in. So, more day and date to PC is going to happen, and I wouldn't be surprised to see games come to Xbox because Sony, your stock sucks right now.
Oh, you're saying PlayStation games come to Xbox.
Sony's going to have to start doing the same thing.
I think what you said is a
razor thin margins on Sony's side. And Sony has also forecasted that their shipments of consoles has been cut by 2 or 4 million. And you're telling me that Xbox is the only one that's having trouble selling hardware.
By the way, real-time update, Microsoft Corporation up 1.82% to $406 per share.
Dude, it was up at 438 sometime last week. It's ridiculous.
Also, Bacon, I think you brought up a really crazy point. The fact that Satya Nadella himself
shouted out
the PlayStation games the Xbox game being high sellers on the PlayStation platform. It's over, boys. Xbox is going
all that money is going to fund Game Pass. It's going to fund acquisitions. It's going to fund third-party money hat deals like contraband. Sony, never mind. I can't argue.
Bacon's going to freak out here. I
can't argue logic with people who just sit there and look at console sales.
Speaking of logic, and I'm going to throw it over to Jose for some. Todd Oxtra said the 2025 profit look will be interesting. It's post all the job cuts, and ABK has no new deal. Correct. We're not going to say it, but we've got a new Call of Duty. Todd. We've got a full developed Call of Duty, hopefully, and I'm praying we're going to see a Microsoft-backed, advertised, and marketing Call of Duty with Xbox logos everywhere. I don't know.
Everywhere.
From what I'm seeing, when I heard from our discussion with XCP and Ains and Joe, it sounds to me like they're going to be like, we're still going to see normal Activision. And I swear to God, if somehow PlayStation gets a beta first, or it's going to be at the same time. That's disappointing to me. It's like, why do that? But Jose, let's get some logic in here. Let's get the sensible approach from Mr. Econ himself.
I don't know what the sensible approach is here.
Right
from these numbers. What do you think of all?
I mean, I think it just points it. I don't have a lot to add other than what you said. Other than I know for the next news cycle of 3, 6, 9 months, we're going to keep hearing about like, oh, their revenue on the box is down. They're going to stop making boxes. Yeah. Even though Phil Spencer has directly said the words, we're still committed to making a box. I think the reality is they are, but I also think they don't care. I think kind of like Bacon said, like the money they're going to make from ABK and all these other games is going to supplement the creation of those boxes because there are still people that still like that casual box experience, but they know their money is in the platform. They know it's in the games. And that's why, like, I've talked to Nis a lot about the Ally, and we talk about our PCs, and like, we still like the box too, right? All of us want that X-Men Xbox that came out still too, right? But the reality is, like, it's kind of like when you're playing a game that's like an engine building game, right? And you have to save up all your money, and then you spend it all on like one upgrade, and then for a little bit you're kind of poor and sucks, but then all of a sudden you're just churning out money because you did that upgrade. That's what ABK was, right? Like, so we're putting all this money in, and it's going to make us stumble a little bit, and it's going to be a little erratic while we figure things out. And then all of a sudden, we're just going to hit our stride, and it's going to grow. That's what I feel like is happening. And I fully agree with Bacon. Why would I not want Halo on PlayStation? Like, get more players there, get the content out. It's a beautiful system right now. Get more players in Forge. Like, why not? I'm really having trouble to say like why we shouldn't do that. So,
do any of us have any just straight normies? Casual gamers we know who sit back and go, my God, are those Xbox games on PlayStation?
No, you're
right. This is the Twitter crowd. This is the people that listen to podcasts. These are the people who listen to podcasts, who care about the news, who sit there and go, this is a bad look putting Xbox games on PlayStation. But 99% of the gaming player base probably is completely unaware
Yeah.
that Sea of
Very
Thieves
true.
is on PlayStation.
Or that Sea of
You
Thieves is
tell
an
me
Xbox
that has-
first-party game.
Right. And telling me that has anything to do with console sales is the dumbest false equivalency I've ever heard in my life. So
Let's jump into the chat here. Nissa said that Sony's handheld can only do one thing. Yes, but I think the Portal is kind of like their first baby step
It's a
back
test.
They're making a
into
handheld.
into their handheld. So it's
they
interesting to
had
see what they're going to do
successful
with that.
handhelds. Yeah.
They did. They've had very successful. Todd Oxter said Xbox games everywhere and on Switch 2 just makes more sense. I completely agree. And the box is less important, but if they get a handheld, that could be huge on growing Game Pass. Yes. So, but to counter that, why create your own handheld if you're going to put all of your games on Nintendo's handheld? I guess keeping it in the
'Cause
ecosystem.
you still want to get,
but you don't want to lean on
30%
Nintendo's
micro-
handheld.
True.
You still
wanna
want to
all
get your
that.
30%
But that's
microtransactions on everything.
But that's a lot of money to make a handheld and make a good, compelling hardware. Nissa also says, just got my ROG Ally. Dreamlight Valley is awesome. I hear that's a great game. I think Jose played a little bit.
My daughters loved it for sure.
Nissa, I was showing this earlier. I spent $680. I got a smoking deal on this ROG ROG Zephyrus laptop. This is my Ally, and I love this thing. This is incredible. This is like we're getting over 60 FPS in Starfield on this bad boy. I'm just saying, with AMD FSR 3 bacon. And then they've been preaching expanding the market for years now, said Ashes. Why would you stop making a console and cut out a segment of the market? Correct. There are still going to be those loyal, diehard Xbox fans who just don't want to play on PlayStation. And maybe it is a small percentage, just like Android users versus Apple users. Am I right, Jose? But you know, doesn't
we
mean
act like 25 million people is a small number.
I mean, compared to double the amount on PlayStation.
Are we still sure there's that many we have as more active users on the Xbox platform because people have stayed in the last gen because Fortnite still supported, FIFA still supported. All these games are still supported on the last gen. They said in the investor meeting that they have more hours played, more monthly active users, and more time on console than ever before. Like, pay attention to the investor meeting, people, before you.
Well, it's not everyone's
maddening.
A shareholder like you, Bacon. Closing thoughts here from Nissa. She said Microsoft only made a laptop because so many companies have bloatware on it. Yes, the Surface. I loved my Surface for a long time, but now I'm about my ROG Zephyrus. And she said, I don't think they will make a handheld because third parties are. I'm torn on the handheld. Do I think it would be a good idea? Yes, but I'm also with you at like, why don't we license out the Xbox brand for hardware like they do with GPUs, Bacon? We have allies. Why don't we have Xbox specific branded Asus handhelds that are just console experience?
Follow with me for a second. Xbox handheld that has external GPU support, just like the ROG Ally. Leave that docked under your TV. You dock your handheld, and you have an external GPU, which allows for upgrade cycles while keeping the handheld. You can go from the 3080 to the 5080.
They have to fix the battery.
They've said,
you got to do battery.
The dock would chart. No, the dock.
Bacon, but people don't care about power. You're getting too focused on the power. Exactly, Bacon. People don't look at the Switch. Caca, right? Look at this. Right? Exactly. You hate the Switch.
I do hate the Switch.
The Switch sells, and it has battery and has good games. That's what you need.
Exactly right.
And that's what the Xbox handheld needs. Good games, good batteries. Stop worrying about power and specs, Bacon. You got to move. That's what these beautiful PCs are for. Okay. You got to accept it, Bacon. Moving on to news story number 2. And this is coming from our boy, Thomas Mahler, over at what's the damn Moon Studios. And we're talking about No Rest for the Wicked and early access. And he wrote this lengthy tweet, but I want to discuss with boys. And I'm interested to hear because I haven't played it yet. I'm still not there.
I have too.
We're not even a week into early access, and it's been pretty clear that going with early access is one of the best decisions we've made. I see some people are still irked about games like Wicked, Hades 2, Larian's new game, etc. launch into, I'm going to abbreviate it, EA. I don't want to say it every time for early access. Even if the studio should have the funds to finish the game and release it then. But that's looking at a complex problem through a way too simple lens. I think as games become more and more complex and sophisticated, we'll see some form of early access happening more and more often. Speaking from our own experience, there's no way we could have ever shipped Wicked 1.0 without being able to see all the data we're seeing now and getting the feedback from our users. And I mean actual users, not focus testing groups. Even if we'd have 2 to 3 times the staff, we would have quite simply, it would have been impossible. The product is just too complex of a beast to reasonably expect that. 9 women can't make a baby in a month and all that. And even if, historically speaking, I think some games would have benefited from early access even before early EA was a thing, imagine Dark Souls 1 would have been an EA. Instead of From rushing to ship a box product in a somewhat unfinished state, they probably would have been able to look at the second half of that game and still fully form and polish and the less polished areas like Lost Izalith, etc. I think I'm the only one who's beat Dark Souls 1 here, and I don't know what he's talking about. You could do that through updates and DLC, I hear you say. No, that's oftentimes you couldn't. Shipping games is always incredibly difficult and stressful, and most of the time it means making quite drastic compromises, especially if your product is trying to accomplish something new. And if you don't know that it is okay to bring in certain features in scope after the fact, you'll just end up cutting before you hit the market. So even if you like the idea of EA, it's one way to allow developers to truly perfect the product over time. So please try to understand that there's value in that. I'm confident that we will see games being created through early access programs that would have never been made without early access. And to that effect, we need to see PlayStation, and he even added at them, PlayStation and Nintendo of America to embrace early access. The industry is just changing at a rapid pace, and holding on to things that were the norm from 5 to 10 years ago is too restrictive. Ultimately, people just want to play great games. It shouldn't matter how they're developed, just that it was, and if players can play some great experiences on your platform. You're doing your audience a disservice by not having early access. Before I throw it over to Jose on the early access and his experience with No Rest for the Wicked, someone did also ask, why isn't it on Xbox early access right now? And he's like, we're having enough problems developing it for Steam right now. Let's focus on that first. Then potentially they would have done Xbox, but they just want to hone in, perfect their 1.0 release, Jose. And so tell me about your thoughts on early access, because you've gotten this firsthand experience now, Jose, and your experience with the game and Thomas's words here.
Honestly, dude, I have been having a blast with the game. Now, granted, it is hard, and I, for a really great discussion, I'm not going to deep in the dive. Go listen to Bitcast from last week, because Ains and Travis talked a lot about that, and Ains made a really great point about if you don't like the hard, just don't play it. It's okay if you don't like it. There are games that Dan plays that I don't like, and same with Bacon. That's the reality of gaming. For me, this is a great game. So just a tiny little story. The reason we didn't record last night is because I was at prom for my school. Otherwise, we probably would have done that instead of tonight. But I got home really late and had to get up into school to go clean stuff up and stuff. But I got home, my wife and kids went to a baby shower, so I had the house to myself for 3 hours this afternoon, and I literally played the whole time No Rest for the Wicked. And it wasn't stressful, even though I died a lot. It was just the things I will say is that the art style is very cool. It is a little weirdly disturbing, when you see your character up close, they kind of look like spider monkey people. I don't know how to explain that better. But it's I like the loot system and the leveling system. I love the exploration system, and I like the 3-3, the verticality of the game. That is very different than Diablo or other ARPGs that I've played. There is truly a lot of if you like to explore, and I do, I'm the kind of guy that likes to try to do as much as I can in an area before I leave and never come back kind of thing. It's very cool. I do like that piece a lot. And sound quality is great. I think the story is interesting. Here's the only piece I don't know, and Bacon, maybe or if you're in the chat, I don't know how long the test is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not in a hurry to finish it. Do you know, Bacon?
The level cap is 30, and then there's 2 main bosses, and then the gauntlet, which I can't get through the gauntlet yet, but it's okay. I'm 31 hours with the beta or with early access right now. And I haven't even level capped. So
I think I'm like 6 hours in. So Bacon has played much more than me. I'll let him talk more about that. But I'm enjoying it, man. You know, the only things I will add about that, this is the first kind of game, because again, I'm still new to PC World, that I've really done in early access on Steam. And I, you know, like Todd in the chat saying, like, can I get a discount because I don't want to be a beta tester?
You do get a discount if you bought it earlier. It was
we got
like
10% off.
Yeah.
Which, like, I understand the sentiment, but honestly, like, again, I'm choosing this, right? If I don't want to play a buggy game, I would have waited. I'll wait till November
because of our love for Ori and Moon Studios.
Correct. And that is a big piece of it. Because granted, if they didn't have the pedigree of Moon, if I didn't love Ori as much as I had, I probably would have been like, I'll wait for it to come out. And because I got plenty of other stuff to play now. But I'm really enjoying it. And here's the cool other piece. We'll talk more about this when we get to what we're playing. I'm also playing another Crab's Treasure on my Ally right now. And there are cool similarities and obviously some pretty stark differences. And so it's awesome because, like, when I want to play like a full game, I'm on my PC here where I'm at right now. When I'm on the go, I play on my Ally, and like it's just it makes me really happy as a gamer. Like, I feel really, really just like satiated, which is cool. So those are kind of my initial thoughts. I don't want to go too deep and too long. Bacon, how about you? But tell us what you think.
Like I just stated, I'm 31 hours with the beta, or I call it beta, early access. I've been talking with Ains a ton in private DMs about it. We're still not sure if progress is going to be wiped. Mr. Moeller here said they might have to wipe our progress when 1.0 comes out, and it makes sense. But this game is unmistakably Moon Studios. It's the art style, it's the enemy design, it is unmistakably Moon Studios. And it's a genre of a game which I'm not sure I've ever played before, an isometric Souls-like. Like I can't think of
Sounds
a game.
Sounds like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Fair. I mean, but it's
yeah, but when you add the parry system in, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like I'm saying like an evolved
different
version of it. That's why I think I'm gonna love this. Like, I know a lot of people are hating it.
Absurdly difficult. Like, to the point where I've gone into the settings a few times looking for easy mode, and I'm like, it's just not there.
Oh, see, I think it's easier than like Elden Ring by a long shot, dude.
Oh, I smoked
and like
Elden Ring.
It's easier than Wolong. Like, man,
and the funny thing, it doesn't do a great job of explaining things to you. So I didn't know about some upgrades I could do in the town to then get better weapons. So I got through both bosses with pretty cheeks weapons. And then Mike told me the other day, he's like, yeah, man, upgrade your blacksmith.
Speaking of Mike, he says fire throw OP crucible boss.
Those fire bombs, dude, are so overpowered, dude.
Every easy once you get into the game and grind. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like Elden Ring.
Yeah, you can over level and make sure it works. I've gone with the straight dex build because I want the speed, because I can't parry, and I think they need to work on their parry system. So I've just gone with dodge and roll and then stab them in the back, just max and dex. It is a fantastic game. It needs work on the inventory system. There's a lot of running back to drop things off, to then come back to your blacks. Nothing in the town's close to each other until you buy your house. So it's but this is all stuff that early access is designed to do. It's designed. Yeah. That's why Baldur's Gate came out in such good shape, is because it was an early access for so long. I sure hope this ain't early access that long. But if you're a fan of difficult combat, if you're a fan of just a cool world, then this game's gonna be right up your alley, because it is freaking difficult. I mean,
yeah,
but it's also not. It's not. I think what's hard about it
is
what
about this, Jose? What about, is it like the one with the bird that we played that was on Game Pass?
The oldie timey game, with the souls,
it was a great
game.
Where you use the umbrella as your weapon.
Death's Door.
Death's Door. Was it like that?
Kind of. It's much more 3D in terms of its verticality, because Death's Door, you're on the floor the whole time. But their parry system, it's kind of akin to that. Here's what I would say though that's very different is, like, when you're watching it played, when you're looking at it, it feels like a hack and slash. It feels like a Diablo where you just want to spam attack.
You know what I'm saying? People, huh?
And that's what's deceiving, because, like, the truth is, it's meant to be played much slower. It's meant to be like a watch their patterns, dodge for a little bit, learn what they're doing, and then you attack and then roll out. Like, that's how it's meant to be played. And if you don't do that, you're going to die an insane amount of time. the last thing I will add, I forgot to say when I was talking about it, the one thing that I think is really cool that I'm just getting to is, like Bacon touched on it. When you get to the town Sacrament, you actually get to upgrade the town. So like when you go find resources like iron and wood and stuff like that, if you go to this one
Assassin's
dude,
Creed 2 upgrading,
kind of he upgrades things, and then you get like a weapons manufacturer, and then you can upgrade, like you said, your thing. And so like there's an incentive to keep returning and like learn Sacrament, because it's kind of big right out the gate when you start the game. That part has been really cool. I've been enjoying that. And I just found a new secret that I've been running around this first area for a long time. I found this crazy cave with this like hallucinogenic flower that I'm trying to get out of. and you're the potion guy in there. Like,
You
it's
do
very
know how that
funny.
works, right?
I was doing it before I had to leave to our Great Wolf.
Yeah,
Food,
it
so
creates those visible floors that you follow them to get out of that cave, and then it's pretty important. So yeah, you'll see when you hit that flower, the first stair you hit, there'll be a ramp there instead of the rocks. And you just
no, I just got out of the cave. Like, I completed that piece,
and
then I had to leave. So anyway,
what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, the upgrades and Sacrament stuff are really cool. The enemy types are different. You run into dudes with shields, and you're running a dex build. You can't break their shields, man. You're like,
I'm a strength build, so I didn't go dex on this.
Yeah, I can't handle slow swinging swords. I'm just so if you're into that genre, this early access, I've only had one crash in 31 hours. I can't think of any major, like performance issues, but my PC is ridiculously strong, so maybe other people are having problems with it, so I can't comment on that. But it's definitely worth your time.
I've had a couple. No, I've had no crashes, but I have had at least 3 times where like an enemy is on the screen, but they're not really there. Like they don't. They're. It's like a sprite that doesn't move. It doesn't hurt me. I can walk through it, and then if I leave the screen and come back, it's gone. But that's like a weird glitch. It doesn't affect gameplay. It's not an game-ending bug, but definitely have noticed that kind of stuff for sure. Anyway, it's fun, man. Check it out. If you're into the game, if you like challenging stuff, check it out. If not, wait, because truthfully, it's going to be probably hot when it comes out. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be in like Game Pass or any services, but it probably will go on sale by like Christmas. So like if you want to wait to save your money, but otherwise, if you're digging, if you like Dark Souls, if you like any of those games, Sekiro, I bet you'll dig it quite a bit, to be honest with you.
Ash has said that he's played it some when not on fault, and he's enjoyed it so far. And Nissa says that's less crashes than Dreamlight Valley on my Xbox. Though that is not good, guys. Let's move into quick news stories from now on. This is news story number 3. Just very quickly, the exchange is coming to Halo Infinite. What's the exchange, you ask? Basically, it's a way to earn Spartan points, and then you can buy previously locked or missed items that were kind of. Some of them were like Twitch drops or in the shop for a little bit and coming in and out. If you've played the Master Chief Collection, which I have, I don't know when last time Bacon or Chipotle Bear have, but
you were streaming it with MCAN10 this week.
Yes, shout out to MCAN10. Basically, what you do is there'll be these challenges, guys, and you complete them, and you'll earn points, and then you can go to the shop and spend on the points. It's very cool. It's some of them were like single player related, some of them were multiplayer, some of them were like just get headshots. It's various challenges. So that's what Halo Infinite is switching towards. I like this idea because there have been things that I wish I would have purchased before. So now you'll be able to earn Spartan points and buy things that way. It's very cool. Are they completely moving away from the battle passes, right? I think
no, they're still doing battle passes, but they're changing the big ones.
Addition.
They're not doing the big ones anymore.
Yeah, so it's just monthly. What do they call them? I forgot, but so I just wanted to shout this out. By the way, I think we should play Halo more, you guys, every time. We just need to play some big team, not get sweaty and ranked matches with Ains and Pomps and just want to hate my life all the time.
You're the one who loads the ranked matches.
But just so you guys know, this is very cool. There is some controversy about like, oh, you can't even earn the most amount of points to buy everything on here, or it'll take forever. Whatever. They're giving you options on how to spend free in-game currency. Yeah. They're giving you ways to earn it. I love everything about it. Do you guys want to talk about this quickly, or should we move on?
No, I think it's cool, man. Excited.
Next,
I'll play Halo with you too.
Quick news story tying into that. Jedi Survivor is coming to. It's there. I'm pretty sure you can play Jedi Survivor now on EA Play. Oh wait, no, sorry. Oh yeah, it is. It was 2 days ago. Jedi Survivor is in EA Play as part of Game Pass. By the way, I mentioned this on, I think it was the XP episode, how I played Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on Game Pass for free, and I felt so guilty because I didn't pay for it. Here's another one, guys. Everybody, if you like Star Wars, if you like great games, If you just like just great adventure and storytelling, go play Star Wars Jedi Survivor on Game Pass now. And tying into that, games coming to Game Pass. And I don't know if we talked about this. I think we might have missed this a week ago.
Yeah.
Harold Halibut is coming to cloud PC and Series X. Orcs Must Die 3 cloud console PC on the 17th. EA Sports is also NHL 24 is coming to EA Play on April 18th. Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes cloud console PC. This just came out recently. Decent reviews. It looked like a pretty good JRPG. I've always, these are ones, Jose, where I'm like, I really should play one of these, but there's just too many freaking games. I can't keep up.
We got to pick our niches, man.
And then Jose is playing this one right now. Another Crab's Treasure cloud console PC. Shout out to Ty Guy Travis. I believe he gave it an 8, right, on IGN. I think he was saying on Bitcast. A Souls-like, beginner Souls-like game. Very positive things about that. Manor Lords is coming on April 26th to PC on Game Preview. Have a Nice Death cloud console PC April 30th. And just so you know, leaving Game Pass in 3 days on the 30th. 7 Ways to Die, Besiege, EA Sports NHL 22. Who cares? You've got the new one. Loot River, Piku Niku, and Ravenlock. I did play Ravenlock, a cute little baby's first Zelda game. So shout out to games entering Game Pass. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about some of these with the games we've been playing. And last quick news story, and I saw everybody retweeting this one out. X-Men 97 cross Xbox Series X console with the iconic X-Men artwork and the controllers, which, to be fair, the controllers, guys, you can just go make those in the design lab right now. You don't have to enter yourself to win one of these controllers. But
don't try to knock us out just because you want to win.
My gosh, you guys, look at this beautiful X-Men 97 comic book Xbox Series X.
If they put those up for sale, they'd sell 10 million of those.
You think? But
yes,
but
I would buy it, and I'm not a console gamer.
Here's the thing. You got to make it a collectible, Bacon. You can't just be selling it to everybody.
I disagree.
Oh my God, they would sell so many of that.
Why don't they sell like the Starfield wraps of that, dude?
Oh,
like,
okay. There's an idea.
For
there
that.
you go. A wrap. Absolutely. Why don't it's got to be some sort of licensing
That console is so sick.
But looking at the controllers, can we just all agree?
Yeah, the controllers are lame.
Well, no. The one that nails it. The one that nails it. Gambit's. It's perfect. His controller, you guys, they absolutely nailed the look of that. When I see that controller, I think Gambit, especially with the pink accent on the D-pad. Excellent. I haven't seen X-Men 97. What the heck is going on with Morph? By the way, I thought he was dead. So apparently,
Todd, you're in the chat. Tell us what's going on with X-Men 97.
Apparently, it's not. He's not. Shout out to the chat. Ash says, "We say let's play Halo." I know we do. That's. You know why? We keep going back to the Battle Royale, Ashes. You're right. Halo needs a BR. Okay, it doesn't have to be more casual. It doesn't have to be more competitive, whatever. It needs a Battle Royale. I said it. If Halo had a Battle Royale, Jose, you know we'd be playing it more. It's just a fun game mode. We like playing BRs. You're right. We do need to play more Halo.
Can I ask you a question on that? What if they dropped a Halo BR that was only on mobile? How do you think that would do? I'm just curious. I like both your face. I agree with you, but I'm just saying to get the kids in. I'm just saying.
I don't think that. I think you got to start it on console PC and then bring it over to mobile.
Okay.
And then Matt Valdez says, "How is Jedi Survivor on PC?"
It had a rough launch, but I think it's solid now.
Multiple patches.
Actually, not good. I remember Bacon quit on it.
Yeah, he did
because it was too broken.
There was major updates, and I finished the game on PC. One of the only games I have finished recently. I'm what's called a grazer, I guess. That's what they call us.
Todd says game monetary systems are so vague. Yeah, with the Halo, I know. And Ashes says it is interesting that they don't sell any of these random yeah, these probably it's packaging, it's getting it out,
much, bro. It would sell.
But just the wraps, like he said, a Blu-ray
think
wrap.
about how long it takes to get like a controller with Design Lab controller. It takes time to get all these random combinations. It's just not efficient to produce all these. You can copy these. I'm telling you, you can copy these right now if you wanted to. That's why they don't do it. The Bluey version, yeah, that would have sold a bunch as well. I agree. They gotta.
The only custom console we had was the
Where are these
Halo
wraps?
one.
No, they had the one, right? There was like a
There's only
with
the
the stripes on
Starfield,
it.
and then there's randomly those two ugly camo reps. It's like something's going on. They're either redesigning the box, is probably what's happening, and they're like, "Why do
We're going to the next
something's going on with the reps."
generation. It's going to the next gen.
Morph came back in the old series. It was a whole long thing. Screen Crush can get you up to date on it. Okay, thank you. Todd actually says Xbox has dropped the ball with the Series X console editions. Yep, absolutely. It's got to come down to it's just not worth it money wise for them. Morph got brought back. Yep, okay. And then B, I would love to stay for the rest of the show, fellas, but have to get to work early. Got to get to bed. Glad while. Oh, thank you. Shout out to B. Thank you. Appreciate it, B. Thank you for being here. Guys, that has been the Xbox news for the week. We can all agree that Xbox has dropped the ball in these special consoles. The wraps, they should have done more of the wrap things. That's a huge miss. Like something's, what
or
else?
outsource it to a company that like give them the designs.
Yeah.
They make one template and print them as stickers. That's a cash cow, dude.
They're definitely dropping the ball. Let's be real, guys. Let's jump into what have we been playing and or watching. And I got to go first because just moments ago, a couple hours ago, guess what I did, Bacon, on my PC after 110 hours, 110.5 hours.
You finished Mass Effect?
I have completed the Mass Effect Trilogy Legendary Edition. I have every single achievement unlocked on Steam. The first game that I played and completed on my brand new PC, of course, had to be the Legendary Edition. I fought back the Reapers, and I wanted to talk to you guys about this, but maybe we need to have a spoiler cast episode. Matt, if you're still here, you need to get on the show. We need to do a Mass Effect.
Yeah, let's do it, bud.
Spoilers episode because we never did one, and I have questions about the ending, guys. The Mass Effect trilogy. If you couldn't tell, I'm wearing my N7 hoodie. I've got N7. It's just so good, and playing the Citadel DLC, Bacon, having my party together. Oh my gosh, just the memories we're making, the little conversations you're making throughout the game, fighting the Yakshi, those banshees out there, just these little things. The way 3 just has you go on these perfectly. This is where Starfields could take a cue. These focused, molded missions like Mass Effect did. That's what Starfield needed. And that's what Starfield needs more of if they were ever go back, which I don't think they will. But let's hope in the DLC we get these more focused missions like the Mass Effect trilogy, because when it all comes together, gosh, what a trilogy, you guys. I am tempted to go straight into Mass Effect Andromeda, the worst Mass Effect game, but I'm like, I should probably take a break. 110 hours, every achievement unlocked. Shout out to the greatest trilogy of all time. I could talk about Mass Effect forever. I'm actually kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little sad right now, you guys, because I don't know what I'm gonna play next. I've had Mass Effect.
Try No Rest. I think you're gonna like it, dude.
Yeah, you'll like No Rest.
There's a part of me that wants to wait until the full release on that, but I know I'm gonna like it. So shout out to Mass Effect. All praise be to Daddy D Shepherd. Thank you, Matt Valdez. Matt, seriously, come on the show. Let's talk spoiler cast about the Mass Effect trilogy.
Gifted me a channel sub to Luke's.
Shout out to Matt.
Yeah, I got one of those too.
Did
the
you?
Nerd Chat did this week. That was sweet. Thanks, Matt.
And also dropped in Warzone. Got a few wins without Bacon, without Deja Vu. I'm up to 14. I'm almost to 15 wins of the 30 that we need. Played last night with Alan and Snelling and Diddy Milk, aka Titty Milk, and we got a second, a third, a second, a third, and we just couldn't quite.
I played the other night with Luke and Joe and Jay.
How was it?
Suddy was fun. Let's shout out to Suddy. It was fun, dude. Joe reminds me of a Leroy Jenkins. Like he's like, I'm going for it. Like he just goes erratically. And Luke, Joe was also like they were all cracking up because they heard the chat from my stream, because we have like the all lobby chat, and they were like, what are all these voices? And I was like, oh, it's because of PC and like the whole thing. But it was we got a fourth on an actual like full battle royale, not like on Resurgence.
Do they switch off, or are they mostly like Resurgence or mostly full battle royale?
When we played, we just did 2 rounds of battle royale.
Yeah, that games just take too long. That's the only
thing.
They
did take a long time.
Vacancy, you get more.
But it was fun. Shout out to Luke and Joe.
And then Todd Oxford says, I wish BioWare was free of it. Yeah, but would that really solve things though, Todd? Or are we just living in the member berries with BioWare.
Member
you guys.
berries.
I think it's a little bit of member berries. I would love Xbox to pick up BioWare. That would have been a great pickup. And why didn't Xbox? You said it right there. Why did they acquire BioWare? That was a big mess. I completely agree. Guys, that's mostly what I have been playing. I did download Evil West. I'm thinking about doing that next, boys. I can't decide Evil West or Final Fantasy VII Remake. Right. That's where I am at, Jose.
Honestly, dude, I've done both. They're fun. I'm playing Evil West right now. Whatever you want to, if you want a short game, Evil West. If you want a long game, Final Fantasy. That's really what it comes down to.
Bacon, what have you been playing besides No Rest for the Wicked?
Besides No Rest for the Wicked, nothing.
33 hours.
I did download Fallout and I did launch it.
Mass Effect? You were playing Mass Effect?
No, since last week when No Rest came out, I have completely not touched a single other game. Well, other than Brotato sitting on the couch. I launched Fallout to make sure it does work in Super Ultra Wide, and it does in fact work in Super Ultra Wide. So I'm pretty excited. That will be my next game. I'm going to break Mass Effect up since I just finished 1. Get another game in, go finish 2, get another game in, try to spread the love, unlike Dan, just getting it all in one go. So haven't played Fallout, and I hear it's got some issues on PC after this update, so I'll report back when I do. But Fallout 4 will be my next game.
Jose, anything to add? You've kind of talked about it.
So I talked about it a lot. Evil West, I'm still playing a little bit on the Ally. It's fun, man. It's nothing. It doesn't light the world on fire, although there is a lot of fire in the game. But it is fun, cool story. I like the combat. It works real well on the Ally. Also been playing No Rest for the Wicked. And then another Crab's Treasure. So I didn't talk about that a whole lot. I will just say it's fun. It is not Souls-like in the sense of it's much more lighthearted, I guess is the best way to put it. I mean, it's still the challenging combat. It's very timing and methodical. You definitely if you die, you lose your microplastics is what they call them, but it's basically your currency, and you have to go back and collect it from where it's at. But it's kind of a silly story, but I like the story, and it's got some cool mechanics in terms of other tools and weapons that I'm getting and stuff. And the shell mechanic is really cool because basically it becomes your shield. But it also can break if it's hit the wrong thing, and there's also a dodge mechanic for iframes and stuff like that, which is cool. I played a couple of bosses in it they were challenging. I mean, they took me some serious time, and I actually started watching Ellery. She was doing it on she streamed earlier this week, and I was watching that, and it was awesome. So shout out to Ellery, and maybe want to go play the game right away. And I've been playing a lot since then. That works really well on the Ally as well. And then other than that, just Warzone. And then I did finally finish the Fallout show. Great. We could maybe do a spoiler cast on that soon.
No spoilers. I got to the part where they got to another vault, Maximus. And
you got so much good stuff coming, dude.
I know.
But it ended really well. I was just gonna say I like the way it ended. I like the character arcs. I'm super pumped for season 2.
I gotta jump in here. What a fantastic
sorry. I'm late.
Fucking show. I mean, really, guys. What
so good.
I'm watching it. I'm like, this isn't even just good because it's Fallout. This is a good, interesting. I'm and
Victoria watched it. She liked
I
it, man.
want to know what's going on in this world. What a great show. And everybody's been saying with Microsoft, they're probably like, I wish we had a Fallout right now.
Jazz Corden says that they're going to spin up another team to get Fallout 5 going.
I mean, if the series hits like this, they're going to have to do something. It's crazy to see how many people. It's so weird to me. It's where were you guys before? These guys have been around.
I'm right there with all the rest of them. I didn't play Fallout.
I did. It was great. Last thing real quick, and then we can move on, is I did also finish Shogun. And I won't get to talk anymore.
I heard it wasn't.
Are you satisfied with that final episode?
Oh, here it is.
It was not
spoilers.
If I was the writer, it's not what as a spectator, it wasn't what I wanted to see, but I am satisfied with it. I do appreciate the way that the resolution was reached. It was I like when they do that kind of you got me, but Bacon knows what I wanted to see, and it just didn't happen because
yes.
And I knew going into the final episode, I was like, there's no way this can happen with an hour.
40 minutes in, you're like, this ain't happening.
It's not gonna happen.
So it's rushed like the last episode of
No, it's not rushed. It's a diplomatic ending to a game or to a show
Story.
Yeah.
And I looked it up too because I was curious if they were going to try to do a season 2. They are definitively not doing a season 2 because this is where it's not a spoiler, maybe for Bacon. This is where the book ends. Like the book ends in the same spot. So it is truly like a mini series more than anything, but super well done, guys. And if you like a serious show that is interesting and intriguing and different than some of the other stuff that's out there right now, Shogun was fantastic, dude. Like I'm gonna definitely miss not watching an episode this week. Huge shout out to the actors and actresses. I certainly hope they win some awards for the show, but it was good. It was very,
and on Jose's note, if you want the same kind of production value but in reality TV, go watch
Welcome to Wrexham.
Vanderpump Rules. Bacon.
Welcome to Wrexham comes back next week, fellas. Woo!
Shout out to Todd Oxford. The finale was okay. A bit rushed. He's right there with you guys.
It's just, and if you ever watch it, Dan, or anyone listening, you're gonna want something to happen at the end of the season. Like it's building up to it, and you're like, oh, here we go, and then it just something different happens, and that's the part that just like
Sopranos ending.
Kind of. Anyway,
guys, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week, and I gotta say, right off the top, you saw me zeet out my video to Zenkai Goose. I had the Bacon Cajun Ranch Deluxe McCrispy at McDonald's. And I got to say, McDonald's has finally done it, you guys. Go try this chicken sandwich. It's not up there with, the Popeye spicy or your standard Chick-fil-A delicious sandwich with your Chick-fil-A sauce. But this might be number 3, boys. This was, I think if I would have said go heavy on the Cajun Ranch with the lettuce and the bacon, freaking fantastic chicken sandwich. And then also, speaking of pizza, it was shout out. I should have said this earlier. Allie and I, we had our 7th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations, bud.
Here's Jose knows. We went to Virgilio's for dinner. That's where we had our wedding meal after Jose married us. Funny enough,
efficient.
And I got a barbecue chicken pizza. And it was just so good. From Virgilio's, you're thinking, they could get something fancy. No, I love my BBQ chicken pizza, and it was delicious. But we had the kids' cheese pizza, Jose, fantastic. But I also got their perfect shrimp with a spicy ranch to start. It was like 20 shrimp. Ate it all myself because no one else in the family likes shrimp. Delicious. I love a good grilled shrimp, you guys. It's just fantastic. So I had some great food this week, minus and also shout out to the breakfast at the hospital. I had a cheesy omelet. It was actually very good. And some yogurt.
Compliments to the chef.
Todd said, damn you, Dan. Talking about my diet again. Bacon, what about you? You have something fun this week?
You can add a Chipotle burrito and a QPC and a pizza.
Oh my
God. Bacon, a
terrible week.
Bacon, yes.
Terrible week. I have to get my blood drawn this week, so I'm sure my endocrinologist.
That's gonna be me next week, boys.
But I'm not going to tell you where I had my pizza. I'm just going to tell you I had one at the Ticker because I don't want to hurt Dan's feelings.
Was it not at Little Caesars?
No,
was it Papa John's?
Colorado. Deal with it.
I don't know if we can count Colorado.
How can you not count
real
pizza
takeout as fast food pizza? I don't know, man.
We went and picked it up. It's fast food. We ordered it, went and picked it up, brought it home and ate it.
That's more like carry out, but I'll allow it.
You should allow
Speaking of the numbers, we've got 225 subscribers, 101 Popeyes spicy regular chicken sandwiches devoured, 71 breakfast burritos eaten, 22 Chipotle burritos devoured, 32 Big Macs and quarter pounder with cheeses eaten, and 70. Man, we are making work on those pizzas.
Are good, crushing them.
And look at these numbers, Todd. Aren't you proud of these? Todd said, Jose and Bacon, please stop Dan from his heinous diet. Nissa said, make some yummy bacon eggs in there. That sounds delicious. Nissa, you don't have to talk to me about bacon eggs. I could eat bacon eggs I could eat it every day. Bacon breakfast, perfect meal. I can eat that the rest of my life.
We make bacon in the air fryer all the time, but
Todd why did Todd say congrats to me? What did I do? Oh, because
you're alive.
Okay, thank you. And Nissa said, I have Chipotle gift card that what? Nissa.
That hurt.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills right now, Nissa.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
You're never going to use the Chipotle gift card? Send it our way. We're going to give it away to somebody who will gladly use that. Me. I'll take care of that for you.
Give it away.
And Deja Vu says a poke bowl for the win this week. And Nissa said it's too spicy. Oh, no.
I agree,
She's
Nissa.
breaking my,
I like
she's breaking my
Qdoba's
heart.
better also.
She likes Qdoba.
Bacon can hang out with Luke with the
their
cracked pepper is
queso
too
is-
spicy.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Qdoba's
Too
queso is
spicy?
fantastic.
I do like their queso, but
Nissa,
it has nothing to do with their spice level.
let me guide you here. Try this next time. Tell me you don't like this. Get chicken, double meat, no rice, no beans. Add corn, queso, a little bit of green, lettuce. Get back to me. Try that for me. Okay?
It's like
not
a
spicy,
soup in a
a
burrito.
little sweet. Get the queso in there too.
There's a lot going on in that burrito.
Tell me that this thing isn't delicious. Okay? If you don't like that, then I'll let you go back to Kaka Qdoba. I will send you a Qdoba gift card. You send me the Chipotle one. Jose, what was the best food? Oh, Tana said
Happy
congrats on the
anniversary.
anniversary.
That's funny.
Yes.
I had a great week too. Definitely we had Papa John's this week, which was great. I hadn't had that in a while, but I definitely love the garlic butter sauce and like the crust. That was delicious. But the best food was a new place, the 49th, which is a restaurant out here in Colorado. There's one in Lakewood, kind of close to my school, but they just opened up another location at like Santa Fe and Bellevue. And so we went last weekend just kind of on a whim, like, hey, it opened, let's check it out. It was packed, like a wall to wall packed. And it's named the 49th after Alaska because it's like the 49th state. And so a lot of their meals are like very huntersmen, like it's like elk and caribou and snake and stuff like that. Their burger is like a mix of like elk and regular beef and stuff. I got a burger. It was one of the best ones I've had in the last 6 months because it had jalapenos on it and it had a pineapple cream cheese with the jalapenos on the burger. It was fantastic. And fries, super crispy and golden, super awesome. If you're in Denver or nearby, or if they have a 49th in your state, in case they start franchising, definitely check them out. Burgers were delicious. Shout out to the 49th. That was the best food I had this week.
Shout out to Nissa. Nissa said, still too spicy, like Qdoba or Moe's. I can do that at Moe's. Okay, well, fine. I tried. Okay, Nissa, I tried.
Yeah,
we'll take
Nissa's
it.
correct.
Do we have
Ted's
Moe's?
burgers are fantastic.
We have
We
like
don't
Moe's
have Moe's
barbecue.
here.
I don't know what
We don't
Moe's
have
is. Otherwise.
Moe's, the Moe's burrito place. I've seen and heard of this Moe's. It's
Is
like
it like
Chipotle.
a-
It's like a Chipotle.
But is it like Pennsylvania, like
I don't
East-ish
know.
coast,
I don't
like
know.
Midwest? I don't
And
know.
Ted's bison burger. I had a bison burger regularly, or not recently. I didn't think it was that good, and it might have been at Ted. Sorry, Nissa. Guess we just agree to disagree. Gentlemen, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 156.
56.
Xbox revenue is down. My name is Daddy DWALLY. You can follow me at Daddy DWALLY across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat or the Nerd Chat podcast across all social media. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you for everyone who sent their concern for me and checked in on me. I really do appreciate it. Thankfully, I'm still here, boys. There are so many more games I need to get to. So thank you for everyone for checking in on me. I really do appreciate it. And Nissa says, I'm in Massachusetts. Yeah, it must be an East Coast thing, that dang Moe's. Chipotle Bear, where can people find you?
You can find me on X, Chipotle_Bear, Chipotle Bear everywhere else. Huge shout out to everybody in the chat, Todd, Nissa, B, Deja, Matt, Ashes, everybody that stopped by. We really appreciate this community, man. And honestly, while I'm here, a quick shout out to Luke Lore, right? Luke has always been, as much as we go back and forth and stuff, like super great dude. He's super awesome with his community and was awesome to share it with us. So thank you to everybody that has listened in. If you haven't already hit like, we'd appreciate it, and subscribe if you haven't. And honestly, if you wouldn't mind telling a friend or two, we would also appreciate that. We are definitely trying to grow our subscribers. I'm a little jealous of Luke getting his own custom emotes. Because
Dude, those are so
you,
good. The Joe one, the Joe.
I guarantee you I can
oversteer.
make better Photoshop work of that, but I can't do it till we get to 1,000. We have to have 1,000 to get it monetized on YouTube. So if you can help us even one subscriber at a time, we would certainly appreciate it. Shout out for all the love. We love you guys. We hope you have a great weekend, and we will see you for sure next Thursday, I promise.
Shout out to Todd Oxford in the chat. Hey, I had a raised beef
Raised.
braised beef ragu. I don't know what that is, Todd. At a restaurant while I watched the Vikings draft J.J. McCarthy. Shout out to Todd. I commented on one of his what are they called over there?
Yeah, speaking of Todd, go listen to co-op couch friends.
And sorry, what's the other platform? Is it Threads?
Yes.
Are we still on that?
I'm on Threads all the time. I just posted.
Okay, we are still there, and I did a tweet or thread or post at Todd Ostra at the Vikings. Congratulations to the Vikings and their pickups, Todd. I am happy for you. I mean, you guys need a Super Bowl appearance and win more than the Broncos do because you don't have any. An eggs, bacon game, and where can people find you?
Hey, Todd, I got a surprise news flash for you. Bo Nix is going to be twice the quarterback as J.J. McCarthy.
Here we go. Well, we'll see.
I'm just going to call that. He is super overrated, but he's from that area, so I guess it's okay. You can find me at X Bacon Gaming on Steam and Xbox and Twitter, where I continue to
roam the streets.
The console wars. As always, console warriors. See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
No way. That's great.
We landed on the moon!
The Nerd Chat is an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. You can follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. The show was created by Daniel Wolenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy DWALLY. The lead producer and co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_bear. And former intern, recently promoted co-host Jason Jarrett can be found at X Bacon Gaming. If you'd like to find out more about the show, please visit nerdchatmedia.com. And as always, see you online.